Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. I was just about to put this video out, like literally just pressing go live, and then this skin hit at the same time, so I thought I'd include it in this video, just kind of as a news thing right at the start. So here's a brand new legendary skin for Summer Games 2018. It is Lacrosse Roadhog, and man, it looks really good. Look at the skin, just the mask and everything just looks fantastic. And honestly, the main thing about this skin is just that it kind of really keeps Roadhog's whole, look. It's got the sort of belly tattoo in a way, and just the whole Hogs branding is really cool. I don't know, this is a great skin. I think everyone's gonna agree that this is probably the best legendary we've seen so far from the ones that have been revealed. But anyway, let's get back to the video. I just wanted to stick this news at the start since I was just about to upload this video anyway. But yeah, enjoy.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. So it's a pretty busy week within Overwatch. This week we have the big Summer Games event, but also there proves to be maybe one of the biggest, best patches that we've ever had in the game that's on the PTR that will hopefully be making its way over to live soon. Tuesday, Thursday, we don't quite know yet. 11 heroes out of the 28 so far have been changed in this patch. There are a few that are just minor stuff. Doomfist, for example, no longer impacts Symmetra teleporters. That's not a big change by any stretch of the imagination. Just to go through some of the other real quick ones, Sombra's head hit volume is a lot smaller.
So it's already down to just 9 heroes left.
Reinhardt's barriered a little bit that protrudes through his shield no longer does that anymore, so it kind of leaves the rest of the heroes that have had significant changes. But just to reiterate the changes for Hanzo, he's had his lunge cooldown increased from 4 to 5 seconds. It's not a big one, it's kind of the Brigitte treatment, as you like to call it. Just every single patch there seems to be just a little nerve, bit by bit. But we've been alluding to support strategies so far this time. We'll go through them alphabetically, starting with Ana. Nano Boost giving 300 HP when you put it on a target. This is something that we spoke to IML7 about. He gave a good example of like you can combo it now because you can get Nano Boost so quickly at the start of rounds especially. Yeah. If you're attacking on King's Row, get that Nano Boost, basically tell your Reinhardt to go in deep, use that Nano Boost to heal him, using your orb as well, your grenade even, because that even increases the healing effect. Not many people know that. But if you throw the healing grenade and then nano boost, it's 450 HP that it heals out. Yep. So like there's a good amount of combos and synergy that you can use it for. But honestly, that's just not going to make a meta in my eyes.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to ever make a meta. But however, as a main tank, I always look at the meta a lot of the way as like, you kind of start a comp by kind of looking, okay, what is it that we want to really like abuse? That's the start of a meta comp, and in this case it's been Hanzo for a long time. Now Hanzo maybe not so much, he's been falling a bit over time in pick rate for sure, and you've seen Widowmaker stay after this and other changes to support. Maybe people are gonna move on to other things because it's not like other DPS heroes have just been terrible. Yeah, depending on what's kind of abused there, or used more like popularly, you will look at support, and in this case, Ana, if she does pair well with any of those, if there is a good nano boost target, and say for some reason Genji would be super popular, then Ana would definitely, come with that. But I feel like that's always how it starts, and once you have that, main combo down, which was kind of, Mercy and Hanzo there for a while, now maybe you will see, for example, say it was Genji, then Ana would come with that, and now when you have, that type of mobile DPS like Genji that has to be right in the enemy's face to really do a lot, maybe you will see more sort of Winston, Diva, Hammond, that sort of stuff. Oh, yeah, and that's kind of what starts putting the comp together. But I feel like you said, like, this Ana buff in itself is not necessarily going to make a meta on its own, but it's definitely like a change to look out for in that way.
I think saying Hammond as well, like, if he becomes popular, I see Ana becoming more popular, more against him, because it's quite easy to sleep him if he's in the backline just swung in, and like he's a big beefy target that you can easily hit, and just the CC is very susceptible too. But I do want to talk about Brigitte a little bit. She's had her shield bash cooldown increase, from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. It's gone from 4 seconds all the way to 7.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be the point that it sort of really reduces Brigitte's usefulness with the shield bash. I have a lot of problems with her, just more in a sense that like you can't really run Brigitte in a typical like 2-2-2 lineup. It always feels that she only really works when you have the triple support set up.
I think she's still very, very good, very strong, and the main thing about whilst the shield bash is really the only thing that's been nerfed recently, of course the armor cap and all that, but people are still playing the hero after that. I think it's again one of those things where, like, say that Reinhardt is still really popular, then Brigitte being there to stun a Reinhardt for, whatever it is that you want to combat with, a Diva Bomb, some other type of ultimate that Reinhardt could potentially block, whatever it is, and a shatter of your own, whatever it is. That's what kind of decides if Brigitte is going to be in there or not. The shield bash cooldown being so high anyway doesn't really matter, because it's like, you want to have it for that time. And whilst, sure, it definitely, if you look at stats, every time a hero is nerfed, they will, have a little bit lower win rate. Even if it's not a lot, you see the effect, definitely.
It's more the feeling of it, I think, than anything.
Yeah,
being on
it.
the receiving end of a shield bash constantly is a big thing, and it's more, I don't think this is going to like break the hero, but I think it's going to make it a bit more tenable to play into. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I don't think it completely messes her up, but we'll see what kind of people want to keep playing. And my only worry is that a Hanzo nerf for the launch like this is not enough to completely move away from that. Because if you look at top picks on DPS right now, it is still Hanzo and Widowmaker, and seeing other heroes come up more there is something that, like, I don't really know how exactly it's going to happen. And that's what I'm really looking forward to finding out. But right now it's very, like, unclear. If this PTR patch had also, like, a McCree buff of some sort, then that, with the effective range, might get people to look more at McCree, and then people go, oh, maybe McCree's actually pretty good now, Yeah. And then that's something to look at in the DPS slot. But as of right now, I think all eyes are still on Hanzo to see how he performs after this.
Exactly. So I think it's very similar to Mercy, which I want to go over in a second, just of how, like, they both have been nerfed, but they're still really good in their effective areas.
Yeah.
It's just they're not as good based off that. Moira, real quick, she's had a passive energy regeneration rate increased to 2.4 seconds over 2.
Yes.
This is more of a quality of life thing, I feel. Just those situations where there's nobody to fight nearby and you need to charge it up, just does it quicker over time now. Mercy, however, has had her healing rate reduced from 60 seconds to 50. I feel it's like it is a nerf. I think it's going to have a big impact, but honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if we have this patch go out on, say, Tuesday or Thursday. Mercy players don't even notice that there's a change. So. I feel Moira is meta dependent. We've spoken about her already, but somebody that is combined a lot with Moira is Lucio for Goats Comp.
Yes.
Like, Goats Comp has actually kind of been buffed here a little bit, because Lucio, his crossfade radius has been increased to 12 meters, and the sound barrier now gives you 250 more shield, up to 750 now with the ultimate. And again, like, between those three of Moira, Lucio, and Mercy, they're closer contesting that sort of main support role, or at least like the first hero that you sort of pick in a lineup. Lucio, I don't mind that he's not as meta as much anymore. We've had like 2 years of him being meta, but it is just kind of like, I'd like to see him being used more in strategies that isn't Goats Comp and isn't triple, like, quad tank, isn't really cheese, I suppose.
Occasionally he is definitely used, but I feel like you said, like, it's hard to not pick Lucio. It's hard to pick Lucio when you're not playing, like, for whatever reason you're playing like a super classic dive comp, or you're playing Goats Comp. Then it's kind of hard to pick Lucio and justify that. But yeah, buffing Goats Comp, it's true. Like, Lucio, Moira are definitely a big part of that. And on top of that, like, sure, Zarya's been nerfed, but she's still pretty good. Like, 6 to 8 meters is quite. Sure, it's quite a lot if you look at it graphically. Like, if you draw up like a radius of 6 versus 8, like, that's still a decent amount. But at the end of the day, it's the composition as a whole that really matters. And I do think that I want to see more dive just because I like playing Winston, so I'm biased in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
That is definitely a buff to that comp. It's just one of those things where, like, that's all the support changes like right there that we've gone through, and what we've generally said about it is that, okay, so this kind of brings back the current meta, but it doesn't really, push anything else forward, which is what I still like about the patch. It's just the danger with some of those types of patches, which Blizzard have honestly done quite a lot of those patches, is that it just kind of stays the same but changes a little bit, You initially...
changes too much.
Like, Season 10 to Season 11, at the start of it, before anything had changed, people were like, well, it's basically last season with a bit less Brigitte and a bit more Widow, And then that was it. And that was kind of disappointing to a lot of people. And I feel like that's the problem with... that's the thing with Overwatch seasons, that you don't have a huge, rebalance between every season. So unless things change somewhat majorly, people might just revert back to the old thing and go, well, it's still pretty good, so let's just run it.
I think certainly for, like, people in lower tiers where there's kind of like, you can't just run double snipers, you're not going to get the same effective use, so you can have a bit more leeway of running different strategies. I think is going to be a lot better. I think what this enables is to have more, like, off-meta picks being better. but the meta still being what it is kind of at the moment.
Yeah.
If not a little bit worse. So it kind of brings up more strategies. Honestly, this meta is quite diverse. You can run a lot of different stuff. My biggest gripe, honestly, is with the support category. Like, you can play in, like, Diamond even and not run a main tank and still be fine, but if you're honestly running without a Mercy, regardless of what tier you're in, that's still, like, a big loss in, like, how much healing output you have. And
for sure.
That's not a position that anybody wants to be in, even, like, Mercy players where they're feeling so relied on.
Final verdict, since we've been going for a while, final verdict on what we actually think this is gonna do. Personally, I want to really believe that this is gonna make some sort of triple tank dive comp that's really interesting better, you know, something, I don't know how, but that's what I really want, but something new and interesting. But what I see happening is kind of the following: you run the current type of comp and the current type of meta again. Hanzo has not really nerfed enough and will still be good, and people know how to play him in comps, and people know that he is still good, so they will run him. And I think the Mercy versus Moira thing completely comes down to if you play Goats comp with Moira, or if you play a more typical composition that most people know with Mercy. And then that's about it. The rest of it will not really change. Sure, people will want to pick Lucy more, people will want to pick Ana more, but it will only be if people really settle for those types of compositions together. And overall, I think it's going to be a very similar meta 2 now, if, like, that's just
the pragmatic approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think sort of bouncing off that real quick as well, the reason why people are saying this is like the best patch we've had so far is because like there's a lot of hero changes, a lot of quality of life stuff, a lot of just hard nerfs, yet it doesn't shift the boat. It's not as if like Hanzo's been nerfed, he's going to fall out of the game completely. Mercy's been nerfed, she's going to fall out of the game completely, as much as people may think or say that. These are like changes that the game has needed, but Blizzard have done it in a very delicate way that still allows you to play Hanzo.
Yeah, exactly. I read through these patch notes and I was like, wow, I love like almost all of these changes.
It's this style of like patch that we want to see more of. Like more changes that maybe shift the focus of one hero to another or a composition to another that doesn't really go, this is the Brigitte meta or the Junkrat meta or the Mercy meta. Like this is a little bit more bring in certain focuses onto different stuff that maybe hasn't had it before. And when you have new Symmetra in the game that I think people are overlooking, and you know she's a dark horse for sure, and then Hammond, we're going to see very different meta naturally form instead of, oh, Hanzo got buffed, this is the Hanzo meta. So I think that's the general reason of why people like this, even though going through the changes specifically, maybe like, yeah, this isn't going to make too much of a difference, this hero got nerfed, but he's still going to be good. That's the general sort of feeling that us as content creators and the community as a whole may have.
Yeah, totally agree. One thing, again, like that I do still see potential in is definitely that, like I still think Hammond is very good for players that do play him well. And the thing about Hammond, where he has similarities to other new heroes, is that sometimes it just takes a little while for new heroes to be properly like understood. Yeah, like with Ana, like with Sombra, honestly, in a way. Like at first people were like, oh, Sombra's gonna be great, and then she came out and people were like, I don't know. And then after a while she kind of came in there, you know, people started abusing that hacking health pack and healing off of that loads and getting like some
the support playstyle of Sombra.
And honestly that did pretty well for Sombra for a while until that was kind of changed and of course nerfed. And there are heroes like that, even with Orisa, where she came out, she was seen a bit mediocre, she got changed and buffed a little bit, and all of a sudden, bam, Orisa played actually quite a lot for a while. And now, sure, maybe not as much, but you know, she's still a hero that's played in Overwatch League and understood a whole lot better, and honestly seems a lot more straightforward than Reinhardt nowadays, in my opinion.
I mean, like, Overwatch League Gesture was like the MVP for me playing Orisa. It was decided on based on Orisa play, but we've been like talking about this for a long ass time.
Yes.
We just kind of wanted to sort of wrap up, maybe not focusing on the changes as much, but the general trend, why we like it, why you should be excited for these changes, even though like, oh, they're nerfing Hanzo or they're nerfing my main or buffing my main, but it's not a lot. These are still really good changes, and I think if we get behind them, Blizzard will do more patches like this, and the game will be in a hell of a lot better state than it has been in the past. But that's everything we wanted to go over. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, really does help out the channel. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.